Okay, ito na welcome to Facebook Live Vlog 1. Okay? Uh, we're going to talk about ano ba magandang pag-usapan. Naririnig niyo ba ako, guys? Okay, so ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon about Jim Paredes. Okay? Si Jim Paredes kasi ano to sikat to si Jim Paredes okay? Medyo konti lang yung nalalaman ko dito kay Jim Paredes pero at least mabibigyan ko kayo ng konting background ni Jim Paredes. Okay? So, si Jim Paredes ay si Jaime Ramon Paredes. Okay? Born August 31, 1951. He's a Filipino musician and producer, educator, writer, photographer, television personality, okay, workshop facilitator and activist, best known for being one of the member of Apo Hiking Society, along with Danny Javier and Popoy Garobillo. Okay? Paredes' most prominent solo work is 1986 Handog ng Pilipino sa Mundo, which has come to be known as the anthem of the bloodless 1986 People Power Revolution. It was recorded by 15 Filipino artists in April of that year, and its English version, A New and a Better Way, was launched in Australia a few months later. In recognition of its significance, the lyrics of the song are embedded on a wall of the Our Lady of Edsa Shrine, which commemorates the 1996 Revolution. Okay? So, yun. Sana naririnig nyo ako, no? Naririnig nyo ba ako, guys? Okay. In the bill naman, yung Bill of Rights of the Philippine Constitution, habeas corpus yan. Topic din natin yan. Is guaranteed in terms almost identically to those used in the U.S. Constitution. Okay? In Article 3, Section 15 of the Constitution of the Philippine states that the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended except in cases of invasion or rebellion when the public safety requires it. Okay? Nung 1971, after the Plaza Miranda bombing, the Marcos administration under Ferdinand Marcos suspended habeas corpus in an effort to stifle the oncoming insurgency, having blamed the Filipino Communist Party for the events of August 21. Okay? Many consider this to be a prelude to martial law after widespread protest. However, the Arroyo administration decided to introduce the writ in December 2009. Habeas corpus was suspended in Maguindanao as the province was placed under the martial law. This occurred in response to the Maguindanao massacre. Okay? Noong 2016, President Rodrigo Duterte said he was planning on suspending the habeas corpus. Tapos, kamakailan lang, sabi rin niya na isususpend niya, no? So, noong May 23, 2017, noong 10 p.m. Philippine time, President Rodrigo Duterte declared martial law in the whole island of Mindanao, including Sulu and Tawi-Tawi, for the period of 60 days due to the series of attacks mounted by the Maute Group, ISIS, and linked terrorist organization. The declaration suspends the writ. Okay? And habeas corpus, medieval Latin meaning court command, that you have the body of the detainee brought before us, is first in law through which a person can report an unlawful detention or imprisonment to a court and request that the court order the custodian of the person, usually a prison official, to bring the prisoner to court to determine whether the detention is lawful. Okay? Then the writ of habeas corpus is known as the great and efficacious writ in all manner of illegal confinement. It is a summons with the force of a court order. It is addressed to the custodian, prison official, for example, and demands that a prisoner be brought before the court and that the custodian present proof of authority, allowing the court to determine whether the custodian has lawful authority to detain the prisoner. If the custodian is acting beyond his or her authority, then the prisoner must be released. Any prisoner or another person acting on his or her behalf may petition the court or a judge. One reason for the plea to be sought by a person other than the prisoner is that the detainee might be held incommunicado. Okay? Most civil law jurisdictions provide a similar remedy for those unlawfully detained, but this is not always called habeas corpus. For example, in some Spanish-speaking nations, the equivalent remedy for unlawful imprisonment is the amparo de libertad, okay? Protection of freedom. Tawag yan. So yan, nanonood si Dominic Basco. Habeas corpus has certain limitations. Though a writ of right, it is not a writ of course. Okay? It is technically only a procedural remedy. It is a guarantee against any detention that is forbidden by law, but it does not necessarily really protect other rights such as the entitlement to a fair trial. So, if an imposition such as internment without trial is permitted by the law, then habeas corpus may not be a useful remedy in some countries. The writ has been temporarily or permanently suspended under the pretext of war or state of emergency. Okay, so yun. The right to petition for a writ of habeas corpus has nonetheless long been celebrated as the most efficient safeguard of the liberty of the subject. The jurist Albert Venn wrote that the British Habeas Corpus Acts declare no principle and define no rights, but therefore practical purposes support 100 constitutional articles guaranteeing individual liberty. Okay, and the writ of habeas corpus is one of what are called the extraordinary common law or prerogative writs, which were historically issued by the English courts in the name of the monarch to control inferior courts and public authorities within the kingdom. The most common of the other such prerogative writs are for warranto, prohibition, mandamus, present the due process for such petitions is not simply civil or criminal because they incorporate the presumption of non-authority. The official who is the respondent must prove his authority to do or not to do something. Failing this, the court must decide for the petitioner who may be any person, not just as interested party. This differs from a motion in a civil process in which the movant must have standing and bears the burden of proof. Okay, so yun. That's all for now. It's me again, Asoy. Thank you for watching. Kita-kita tayo sa YouTube channel. Jobs on Air. Peace out.